Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co., and this is Month in Review, the slightly less different to the Week in Review format in which I take a look at the past month and talk about a whole bunch of, well, things. The top games of the month, the best games, the highlights, the disappointments, my favorite videos that I've put up on the channel, and a new segment this month, my favorite videos from other channels as well that I've happened to watch over the course of the past month. And with that, let's go ahead and start this off. As usual, timestamps and everything, timestamps and links to everything down below. But we're going to start off as we usually do with a bunch of game stats. These are the stats for the month of August. Basically, I use BG stats to log all my plays, and that means that I tend to have, or to log most of my plays. I typically say I log around 85 to 90% of my plays. I know that I regularly miss things because occasionally I'll go to log my fourth play of a game and my app will say you've never played that game before. And my app's lying to me. Anyways, for the month of August, we have the following. We have 186 plays. That puts it about the mid-range for 2023 so far. Neither the highest nor the lowest. 186 plays. We have 102 games played. 55 of those games are new to me. So from the 102 games, that's a lot. That's a lot of new to me games. August is happening. I mean, I guess that makes sense because August had that Gen Con haul and a whole lot of trying to catch up and be ahead of things. Like for comparison, in July we had 39 games new to me. In June we had 22 games that are new to me. May we had 26. In April we had 49. That's the closest. March we had 38. February we had 31, and then January we had 21. So August has the most new to me games in a month so far. So that's where we're hitting the highs over there. So 102 different games, 186 total plays. That means on average around 2 plays per game. We have 55 games that were new to me. And then we have additionally 2 players looks to be my most common my most common player count for the month of August, with 1, 3, and 4 taking up roughly equal shares, dividing the rest of it, and 5 players being so infrequent as to be a tiny little sliver on the chart. We have an H index of 5, which might be my lowest H index this whole year, and I want to go through that. July had a 7 H index, June had a 5. Okay, so June had 5, so it's not the lowest. May had 6, April had 7, March had 6, February had 7, and January had 7. So it looks like 5 to 7 is the sweet spot for the H index. But again, August coming in at the lower end, 5, where it's been tied there once before, which again makes sense. Going wider, covering new games means that I did play less of repeated games as much as before. Past that, we have the most played game is 20 strong, and that's followed by Sky Team as well. 20 strong and Sky Team at 7 plays each for that one. But then we have a whole bunch of others in the above 5 category. We have Roll to the Top, we have Magic Rabbit, we have Mythic Mischief, Junk Drawer, Splitto, Numpsters, a whole bunch of games still hitting over the over 5 category for that. And that's basically what we have for our most relevant stats for the month of August as far as games played. Past that, diving into the rest, which starts off with our new segment, which is my favorite other videos for the month of August. These are basically videos I watched in August. They may or may not be August videos, but usually they will be just by nature of when I watch things. But these are videos I watched over the course of the past month and why I enjoy them, which channels they're from, all of those, and of course links to everything down below. First of all, though, we have a board game purge, selling my collection from Board Game Hangover. Basically, they go over trying to purge a bunch of their games and reduce the quantity of their games to a single shelf. Very entertaining video. I tend to appreciate cull videos. I do acknowledge that when I'm watching the same channel do a cull every single month, cough, not my channel at all, but if you're watching the same channel, there's some of the spark is lost. But I always appreciate someone doing a purge who I haven't seen do a purge before. And Board Game Hangover, I have not seen them do a purge, and I saw them do a selling my collection purge video that I thought was very well filmed, well edited, amusing, funny, and also informative and useful as far as the games they're keeping, not keeping, and why. I also have the visiting the Ivy Studios office and Board Game Cabin weekend. This is a board game vlog from Board Game Hangover. I almost said Board Game Hangover from Board Game Garden. Very different names. Jenna from the Board Game Garden did a vlog of the Ivy Games, an Ivy Games content creator trip for Mythic Mischief, as well as for a follow cabin weekend. I was on both of those, so selfishly I enjoyed being able to look back and see the trip through someone else's eyes. But perhaps that's something you're interested in, perhaps not. But that's going to be the board game vlog, which showed up. That's the board game vlog from Board Game Garden. We also have 5 solo games reviewed in 5 minutes. Not actually 5 minutes, but technically that's the name of the video. This is from Shut Up and Sit Down, and this is welcoming their newest member of the team, Emily, who made an appearance in a video a month or two ago, Emily made a brief appearance in like 1 or 2 videos and 1 or 2 skits, and each time I thought that it was so well done that I managed to find and hunt down her other channel. She has a channel with like 3 or 4 videos on it, not a lot, but just very, very educationally done, very, very informative, very well presented, lots of humor. Highly recommend checking out the five solo games played in 5 minutes, not actually in 5 minutes, done by their new team member as a mostly solo video and chock full of humor, entertainment, and all the things you expect to see from Shut Up and Sit Down, but with a new person on the team. Then we have top 10 games from 2018 reviewed by Brothers Murph. This is kind of a 5-year look back video where they took a look at their top 10 games in 2018 and they're redoing their top 10 games in 2018 and showing where they are now, which means they have some reposition. So like you might have like, you know, number 10 in 2018 might be number 7 now, or it might not be on the list at all. There might be new ones that never played in 2018 that are now there. So they're effectively doing a look back review, which I always appreciate those. I appreciate when someone says, let's look back and take a re-examination of something with more information. There's always the pressure to have those top 10 lists in the year as soon as they possibly can, but often you play games later. There's a degree of catch-up. Over time, you continue to play things, so I appreciate those look-back videos, and I appreciate the Brothers Murph in general, so that was another video. And then talking about IV Games, we have a Crokinole Queries with Daniel Standring. Crokinole Queries is a new interview format from IV Studios. They're basically doing a Crokinole game combined with an interview. Think of it as like Hot Ones, but instead of having, you know, chicken wings with spicy sauce, you're able to play Crokinole, which just seems better. But Crokinole Queries with Daniel Standring, very well done video, very well done interview, and I look forward to the rest of what they have to offer in that lineup. And so that's going to be my top 5 videos from other channels that I watched in August of 2018. August of 2023. Now I'm thinking of the Brothers Murph, look back to 2018. And from there, we're going to dive into the best new games of the month. I will say in previous months, videos in the month of the review series, I've done disappointments first. Someone pointed out, why start with disappointment? Start on a high note and move your way around. Don't start with the negative, and I don't disagree at all. And so we are starting with the best new games of the month. Best new games is exactly what it sounds like. These are the best games from least to most best for the month of August 2023. And they're basically the best games that are new to me that I've think are the best. I'm just going circular now. Anyways, coming in at number 5, we have Manifest Destiny / Dante Invasion of Hell. These are going to be 2 different games. They're both prototypes coming to you from Manifest Destiny, coming to you from Off the Page Games, and Dante coming to you from Creative Game Studios. I'm giving these both the number 5 spot just because I wanted to cram 2 games into it. Played both these at Gen Con, really enjoyed them, really looking forward to them. The others are not going to be prototypes. The others are going to be games that I've played that are not prototypes. So number 4 is going to be Captain Sonar. Captain Sonar got a single solitary play of, and I need a whole lot more than that to actually have an informed opinion on the game. So don't expect to see a review on that one for a while, but I thought it was a very entertaining game, and I look forward to being able to table Captain Sonar again. It's going to be one of those games that gets played once every 3.5 years, but I think it'll be worth it for that one play. It's really, really well done. It's a fascinating game of 8 players working, 2 teams of 4, trying to hunt down and track the other sub. So creative, so different, so unique, and so hard to table, but it's my number 4 game for August. My number 3 is going to be Sky Team. Sky Team for Scorpion Mask, a cooperative game of 2 players of trying to roll dice and trying to land planes together. Kind of the opposite of Captain Sonar. Instead of trying to like hunt and sink a vehicle, you're just trying to like peacefully land a vehicle. Although I did see someone saying that they thematically interpreted the clearing of the airways as shooting rockets at other planes because it was more fun to blow them out of the skies. So maybe there's that. But Sky Team and Scorpion Mask is going to be my 3rd favorite game of August. My 2nd favorite game of August is going to be Junk Drawer from 20th Century Games. Junk Drawer, which I think we have Sky Team over here, we have Junk Drawer over here, and that should give you a hint what my number 1 is. But number 2 is going to be Junk Drawer. I really appreciate this one. Gave it a 4.5 out of 5. It is on the lighter side, but it's so fun, accessible, easy to play. A really solid polyomino game that's going to be one of my go-to picks for gateway and quick playing and easy to explain, easy to teach, all of that polyomino games. That's going to be Junk Drawer from 20th Century Games. And then my favorite game from the month of August is going to be Revive. Revive from Aporta Games. So good as far as the amount of Euro combining and getting things done and trying to optimize your way towards victory. Really appreciating and enjoying Revive a lot. I'm looking forward to diving into the expansion for that because I have the expansion for it and I want to play that. But I've already gotten a bunch of plays under my belt. Expect to see a review on the channel for this one soon. But Revive is delightful and amazing and really, really well done, and I just like it a lot. I have like 1 or 2 minor complaints about it. Mostly comes down to player interaction. I think the player interaction is limited in the game compared to other Euro games of the genre, but I think Revive is absolutely fantastic. From there, we'll dive into disappointments. Usually for most of the things in this video, I have 5. I have the 5 best this, the 5 videos, the 5 everything. It's all 5s across the board. The only category where I don't do 5 is disappointments. Disappointments, I don't try to force a number into it. Whatever the number for disappointments is going to be, limited to 5 it's going to be, but it's not going to be forced to 5. Basically, if I don't think a game is disappointing, I'm not going to try to shove it onto the list. And disappointments is not the same as, I find so many games are like, okay. Many games are just totally fine and forgettable. But disappointments is specifically at different levels. Disappointments is an active degree of not just like, you were fun, but like, I don't need to play you again, but active disappointment in some way, shape, or form. And sometimes disappointments has to do with expectations. So for example, the first disappointment is going to be Tiger and Dragon. Tiger and Dragon from Oink Games is one that, and I don't know if I rank these in any particular order, but Tiger and Dragon I just thought was okay. I was looking forward to it. I know in general Oink Games, the ones I've played, I have liked. Scout was their last hit that they've had, and Scout is fun. I think Scout is very clever. I think Tiger and Dragon just feels very procedural and is not my cup of tea at all. So I'm kind of, I mean I played it like 3 times, 4 times, and I'm kind of done with it and regret almost, I don't regret those plays. I played it with friends, but not my games. Tiger and Dragon was definitely a disappointment, and I wasn't even walking in with high expectations. I was just walking in with like Oink Games being Oink Games. My number 2 is going to be Block and Guess. This one, again, no expectations in this one, but it just was so bad in terms of the actual execution of the game. It basically has you combining various like, block pieces to try to kind of paint a picture of various different items with no real connection to it. I found that the game was just very difficult to have an actual entertaining time, so much as a kind of, hey, that's a general shape, and sometimes things in life have general shapes, so I guess that's the general shape. It was not rewarding for me. Did not like it. So that's going to be Block and Guess. Very disappointed in that one. And then for my number 1 disappointment, and this one probably was my number 1 disappointment because I did walk in. Ironically, I enjoyed this one more than the others, but I walked into it expecting more from it, and that's Tucana Builders. I really enjoyed Trails to Tucana, and I was looking forward to Tucana Builders, and then I played Tucana Builders, and as I was playing it, I was like, this is fun. I really like it. And then the scoring kind of tanked it for me. I found the scoring to be a little convoluted and hard to track, and not worth it for a game experience that was only 25 to 30 minutes, and so Tucana Builders was definitely a disappointment. It was the best of the 3, but the only one I was walking in with expectations for. Coming up, the next category is going to be the favorite videos of the month. This is specifically videos on my channel, my favorite videos that I enjoyed, appreciated, thought in some way, shape, or form were worth it or whatnot. And coming out at number 5, we have 10 Ways They Hook You. Although really it should be number 1 video. Maybe I didn't rank these, I don't know. But 10 Ways They Hook You was a video about marketing tactics and FOMO on crowdfunding, and just going through the what it's like to be in crowdfunding and what creators tend to do. And some of those things are totally fine. I have no problem with them whatsoever. Others are borderline potentially lying to you, and others are really feel a little sketchy. And like they're different tricks or different things creators do in order to try to get your attention and get you to back a game. Again, some of them are benign, some of them are less so benign, but they're just things worth being aware of as far as if you're widening into the greater world of crowdfunding with a whole lot of money to potentially spend and trying to be conservative about what you do and don't do. Number 4, we have the shelf of games behind me. This is a video I did on request where I went over with a vlog camera, just went over the games behind me, just trying to talk about the various, games behind me and going through why they're there, which ones they are, pulling it out. Just a conversational piece around the things that are in the basement, in the studio, as I, am here every single day, day in, day out, and all of that. Number 3 was going to be a Gen Con haul video. This is a video I did with Professor Meg, going over the various games that came back from Gen Con with, just talking about the pros, the cons, not the pros and cons, what we liked, what we are kind of more on the fence about, what we were excited, what we were eager to dive into, and what was just another review copy, but just going through a whole lot of games for an hour, a Gen Con haul video. And number 2, we had why improving a game can be a bad thing. This is a video talking about the nature of second editions, the nature of trying to in some way improve upon the game experience that you've put out into the world already, but the downsides of doing so. The downsides of doing so have a degree of accountability, and now you have another game that's out there in the world, and people want that new thing. Just recently I saw Queen by Midnight, they put out an updated rulebook on their website, which is like a good thing that they have an updated rulebook. On the other side, you have people who are like, well, if you have an updated rulebook, we just bought the game, we just bought it like a week ago, we just bought this game, where's my physical copy of the rulebook? Meaning, the rulebook being bad was always going to be a complaint, but kind of acknowledging and fixing it almost cements the complaint. It's the idea that sometimes improving things can be a double-edged sword. You want to improve it, but it puts you in a situation that can be a little iffy with the people who are buying or backing your games. And number 1, we had how to play all the new board games. This is the perfect formula. Basically, it's a video, very tongue-in-cheek, talking about the nature of having different formulas around what you can play, how much you can play, what percentage of new games you can play, how many games do you play, and how many of those can be new games. For that, basically, you need to plug in any 2 numbers, and you'll get the 3rd number automatically. So it was just a little tongue-in-cheek video about how to play all the new games, or how to figure out how many new games you actually could play. From there, we have crowdfunding highlights. This is going to be the crowdfunding highlights segment where we talk about the 5 best campaigns, the 5, in some way, best campaigns for me. These are not always about, games I backed. In fact, from these, I think I backed maybe one. No, I backed none of them. I backed one of them and I canceled my pledge. So let's go and talk about it. I've really been trying to be much more conservative in crowdfunding. I travel a lot to conventions and I enjoy spending time and frankly money spending time with my friends playing board games. That does mean that I have been very, very mindful to back fewer games because there's only so much money I can spend every year on my hobby, and I've pivoted to spending money on games to spending money on experiences with my friends playing games. So, meaning from these 5 games, I think all 5 of these are games I would have backed a year ago, and they're all 5 of the games I did not back, but they're still the crowdfunding highlights for me. Coming at number 5, we have Mistwind. Mistwind is one from Fresh Fish Games. Really enjoyed that one. I did think it was expensive for what the game is. I do hope I get my hands on a copy, but it was too expensive for a game that I won't play enough to be able to justify backing it myself. But I thought Mistwind was excellent, really excellent. Again, you have to be mindful of the fact that I am a content creator who's playing a lot of games, which means I have a double level of trying to think through, sure, I liked you, but are you going to enter the rotation? Or are you going to be challenging and facing off against the games I truly, truly love and the new games? And so, as much as I like Mistwind, I just don't know if I'll play it enough to justify the price tag, so I do hope I get my hands on a copy, but I couldn't back that one, but I did like the game a lot. Coming at number 4, we had Call of Duty, the board game. Similar kind of situation with Call of Duty. I think Call of Duty is absolutely excellent, really well done. It is a little gimmicky, the nature of the simultaneous planned out 3 turns at a time situation. I had some people asking me if I was backing it, and I said kind of the same thing. I don't think I'm willing to spend $250 on that game, given how many plays I will get out of it. I may well pick up a copy of retail down the road when it's, just cheaper and easy to get your hands on it. Or alternatively, I do hope I get a copy as well, but I just, could not justify backing that one. I think it's really well done. I think it's really good. I do think it's a drop gimmicky, and I don't know if I'll table it as much as I would like to. Coming at number 3, we have Aethermon Collect. This is a short, small little box game of just trying to move around the board, trying to collect various cards. This one actually relatively affordable. I really enjoyed it. Thought it was very clever. Again, just have a lot of the games in my collection that are in that genre, and so still did not back it. I am very excited to see what they'll do next with their series, but I thought it was a really well done cooperative as well as competitive game of just trying to gather, cooperative solo or competitive game of trying to gather various cards and trying to score as efficiently as possible. I don't think they didn't do enough to make it really have strategic depth, but they took a very small core set of rules and gave you a good game around those core set of rules. Coming at number 2, we have Spectral and Trailblazers. This is one, did I not back that one? That's an interesting one, because I really want Trailblazers. So Spectral and Trailblazers, Spectral is going to be a deduction game of trying to figure out what treasures or curses or whatever are in the mansion, and Trailblazers was an expansion to Trailblazers, a game I love. So Trailblazers, the expansion, I'll be getting my hands on that one way or another, that's for sure, because I do like Trailblazers enough. I'll happily pay for things. I'm much more willing to pay for expansions for things I know I love than new things in itself. Spectral, on the other hand, very intrigued by it. I like deduction. I think Bitewing Games has been doing a great job so far with their production and the games they've been putting out, and so I'm very interested in Spectral, but not enough to back it, and Trailblazers, I'll be getting my hands on it one way or another. And that brings us to the last one, Innovation Ultimate, which I did back at first. I backed Innovation Ultimate. I was like, you know what, I have the whole Deluxe Innovation. I want that game. And then again, I was looking at the money. I was just thinking, you know what, I play Innovation a decent amount. I like Innovation a lot. But half my plays are on BGA anyway, and the other half are in person, but I don't know if I'd ever really notice the difference anyways. Now I'm regretting it. I should go back and back Innovation Ultimate. I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. I should be more... I have so many games. I backed it. I canceled it. I'm tempted to back it again. I'm going to hope I don't back it again. But Innovation is a great game. The only reason I'm on the fence is because I literally spent like $150 getting Innovation Ultimate or Deluxe or whatever the one was before this, and then... I don't know. I think I can wait. Maybe I'll trade for it. Maybe I'll trade for it down the road. We'll see. But I do want it, but just not willing to... Trying to be conservative. I'm really trying to be conservative. It's so much easier to when you're, like, for me, I find that being willing to back a lot of things means I back a lot of things. Force myself to really back almost nothing means I try to cut back as much as possible. But those are going to be the 5 crowdfunding highlights. A month in which I happen to not have backed any of those, although I almost did for multiple, and I will be getting my hands on Trailblazers, the expansion to that at the very least. That's happening. That's not a question. In any case, moving on finally to the highlights of the month. These are the 5 highlights of the month. These generally are going to be games I already have played. Generally, it's specifically not games that are new to me because we already have a segment for games that are new to me. Instead, they are games that are the ones I'm most excited about. Starting off with I did not rank these. I'm realizing so many of these categories I did not rank, so I'm going to try to rank these on the fly. Coming in at number 5, we're going to have Monikers. Monikers is an excellent game. I think it's a lot of fun. I've played it like 5 or 6 times this past month, and I usually get to play it very infrequently. So I'm happy I got to play it. I really enjoy it. I think Monikers is just a laugh out loud, consistently good time, and yes, it is basically Time's Up, just with like some small details and scores and things, but it's basically Time's Up if you like that as well. Coming in at number 4, we have, let's go with Marvel United Spider-Geddon. Marvel United Spider-Geddon is going to be our number 4 over here. I really like Marvel United Spider-Geddon. I think it's the best core set of Marvel United I've seen so far. It really gives you the full Marvel United experience in a core set, which usually I don't get. Usually I need to try mixing all these extras to get that. I thought it was really well done. I've enjoyed playing as the various characters against the various enemies. I think Marvel United Spider-Geddon is definitely one of the... Again, it hit me by surprise because usually the core sets from Marvel United are just not as intricate, and this one was really, really well done. Coming in at number 3, we have 20 Strong. 20 Strong from Chip Theory Games. I think it's an excellent game. I think it really does a good job giving you a solo experience in a box. Has some small flaws to it, but overall I think it is a really, really fun game that, again, they already have 3 decks for the system, and they know they'll have more decks coming. They have Tanglewoods coming soon, so I'm happy to see the system going to be expanded upon, and I just think 20 Strong is an excellent solo game, a small box, a travelable puzzle, giving you a Chip Theory feel with a lower than Chip Theory price point and a lower than Chip Theory complexity and a lower than Chip Theory box size. Coming at number 2, we have Mythic Mischief. Mythic Mischief is fantastic from Ivy Games. Love that one. I've consistently been having a very good time with it. I got like 5 plays in August already, and I have like another 10 or so plays in September already. Not 10. I have like 5 or so plays in September. I played the game a lot this past month. It is really, really good. I think Myth of Mischief is fantastic. I highly recommend it. Whether you're looking for the new core set, whether you're looking for the old content, I do not think you need all of the factions to enjoy the game. I think, if you have 5 to 6 factions, will give you plenty of replayability and mixing and matching. And for many people, you're not playing it enough to need more than that. But I think Mythic Mischief is fantastic and consistently hits whenever I play it. And coming at number 1, we have Vindication. Vindication is amazing. It's incredible. I love Vindication. It's insane. I love that game so much. Vindication is... I want to play it again already. I want to play it again now. Vindication is a frequent reminder that I need to play all the games in my top 10, and I need to play them more often to remind myself how I feel about them. I played it. I almost turned it down, too. There were a lot of games happening, and I was like, okay, I'll do something else, and then I came back to Vindication, and Vindication is just so good. That's what it is. It's just so good. It's such a good game. I love it from Orange Nebula. I think Unsettled is amazing. I think Vindication is better. It is one of my favorite games of all time, and expect to see a boost on it. When I do my top 100 this year, expect to see a boost on Vindication because I just think it's too good not to. I think it's too good not to have a boost. Vindication is amazing. That's all I have to say. In any case, until next time, that is your month in review for the month of August. We'll be back in a month with another month in review for the month of September. And until then, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.